reading this text, the phrase, the word that really stands out to me is witness. Is witness. We have in the first reading Peter talking about how they are witnesses to everything that's happened. Jesus' death, his resurrection, and the Spirit of God coming upon them. This is the first reading is actually just at the time of Pentecost, the day of Pentecost. And then we have the two women, Mary of Magdala and the other Mary, who witness. They encounter Jesus and they go to tell the disciples, and they witness to them. And then we have some other people that we usually tend to gloss over, forget about, who are also witnesses. And those are the guards. The guards are witnesses. They saw everything. They saw the stone being rolled away, the flash of lightning, the earthquake. They were dumbstruck. What's it say in the text that we heard from Sunday night? And they were like dead men. They were shaken, so frightened that they were like dead men. That's the experience of the guards. They saw it, and when the women move away from the grave, the empty grave, they too do the same. The women go off to the disciples, and the soldiers go off to tell the chief priests. They tell them what they saw. And the chief priests and scribes tell them to shut up, don't tell anyone, but tell a different story. The women tell the disciples, who eventually believe them, and eventually witness and repeat the story to others. So you've got to wonder, these soldiers, how could they have done this? How could they have stayed silent? You've also got the scribes and the Pharisees, who also understood, heard the witness, the testimony, and adamantly refused to believe. You've got to wonder, what's going on? They actually saw it, and yet they refused to believe. We ourselves say, I'll see, if I see it, I'll believe it. Seeing is believing is the phrase. And these guys saw it, and yet what? Did they believe? The Pharisees, did they believe? No. They were willfully unbelieving. They did not want to believe. Even though they had all the evidence in front of them, they still did not want to believe. What's the kind of mentality that's going on there? And I suspect there was maybe such a hatred for Jesus, or maybe a lust for power, not wanting to let go, the pride that didn't want to say, you are right, I was wrong. And they refused to let go of that, and so refused to believe. And so, no wonder, we might have loved ones who don't believe. Maybe they've had a bad experience, and they're just angry. Maybe the faith has been something in the family that people have tried to push on them, and they are just resistant, because if they resist, if they acknowledge it, then so-and-so will be right, and they just don't want to let so-and-so know that they are right. And so resist even in the face of all the evidence. With these people, we can't do anything. We can pray for them. That's it. If I am that person, and maybe I recognize that in the way I relate to other people. Maybe I recognize that in the way I relate to my faith. Maybe there's a willful willful disbelief. And so what do we do? What do we do? Well, I think forgiving is important. Those who we're angry at, or those whom we hate, God maybe. A humbling of ourselves, so important. This is God's grace. This is why we have the Our Father. So when we pray that prayer, your kingdom come, your will be done. Forgive my sins as I forgive those who sin against me. So today, there are witnesses, and we desire to be good witnesses as the women were. And so there's a need for us to forgive, to lay down our arms, and to humble ourselves, so that we might see and believe.